This is a 2005 Acura TL that we're going to try to repair a stripped engine mount, which is on the passenger side, which was stripped trying to remove the original engine mount, which had totally cracked. So what you're looking at right here is the actual engine mount. This is the new one, but the problem was when I went to install this new one, these two bolts here, which are, you need a 14 millimeter to pull those out. When I went to torque them down, they just kept spinning and spinning and spinning, and you can tell by looking at this. This is right where this bracket connects from your mount right onto the engine block. And this engine block, of course, newer engines, soft as butter aluminum. So obviously with those loose, can't be torqued down. And if you notice how close it is to the pulley, this is for the power steering, this is off by just a slight amount. You're going into that belt. So I had to figure out a way to repair this and repair it quickly. This is the original engine mount, which I had removed, which literally takes about 5 minutes tops to remove it. As you can see, completely destroyed. So this had to be replaced. These spring things keep coming off of the bolts, so right away you know that this inside of the bolt hole completely stripped out. So this is the HeliCoil kit that I'm going to use to do this repair. The size for this particular bolt is M10 by 1.25. 1.25 is the pitch for the threads on this particular bolt. I actually ran it through a gauge at the auto shop. They're very nice to let you size it out. 1.25. This kit comes with the actual coils. It comes with the tool used to rethread the hole, and also comes with the handle which goes on the threading tool. This kit does not come with the drill bit, so you're gonna have to get that separately. Alright, here's what you're gonna need for this particular project. Torque wrench if you got one, breaker bar, regular standard ratchet, extender. This one's about 8 inches. You probably could use a 12. You're going to need a 17 millimeter for the bolts that bolt the engine mount actually into the frame of the car. You're going to need a 14 millimeter for the bolts that bolt the mount to the engine. And you're going to need a 10 millimeter to take off the ground wire, which is the back of the mount. You're also going to need a drill for this project. And you're going to need at least a 12-inch thin extender. This one's by Irwin. Again, it's got the Allen key slots here. You can put your drill bit in, or a hex if you have it. And again, with regard to the bit, you're going to need a 1332 bit, cobalt or titanium, either all through or coated, to cut through the aluminum. You're also going to need a HeliCoil kit. This HeliCoil kit is M10 by 1.25, which is the thread pitch for the bolts which bolt into the engine. You need some cutting oil, and finally I would recommend the blue Loctite, essentially crazy glue, which will hold those suckers in there, but not permanently in the event you got to break them out. I wouldn't use the red, because in the event you got to take them out, red's a pain in the neck. You got to heat it up to try to take it out. Hope this helps. And just to show you the setup, I have this engine lifted on a 3-ton jack. I just gave it a couple of pumps. I'll show you how I did that. That's basically what you got to do to lift the engine up just a little bit so that you can get at the actual engine mount. So this is what it looks like from underneath. You can put a piece of wood or large cardboard I have the jack right underneath the oil pan and slightly on the exhaust there. Just a couple pumps lifts the engine up so you can get working. Now, the practical problem is, since you have to drill the holes out, you got to get your drill in there. But the problem is, of course, the power steering pulley is in the way, and other components. So there's no way to get a straight hole, and you can't drill this at an angle. So in order to solve that problem, what I would suggest is getting yourself one of these extensions. This is a 12-inch long extension, and it's got these Allen key locks here. You can put a hex size in there. You can put a round, old-fashioned style drill bit in there, as long as it's smaller, I believe, than 6 millimeters, because otherwise the bit's too large. It may not fit in there if it's rounded. This one has the hex, so I don't have to worry about that. This particular product's made by Irwin. Relatively inexpensive, sold at Lowe's, I believe, or online. Alright, what I'm going to try to do is drill this hole as straight as possible. I got this lubed up here with a little bit of cutting oil. Back this out. Okay. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to try to drill this hole straight as possible. Got it lubed up, lined up. That's it. Inspect our holes. And if you have a compressor, spray it out.
Oh, that's it.
Now, we're going to try to use the rethreading tool to put new threads in. Then, lube it up first. Try to go as straight as possible. Okay, go to the bottom and come back out. Again, clean this out. Make sure you got your safety goggles on. And as you can see, nice new shiny thread. So as per the instructions, we now have to put one of these coils onto a tool which is provided and has an edge on here which catches that part of the coil there, and it locks on. This allows you to screw it in to the brand new hole. By the way, I'm using a 3/8 ratchet on here, which holds it in pretty nice. So let's see if we can just get this down in there and screw it in. That's it. And you can see I put the engine mount back in. I'm just going to bolt it back in, doing the reverse of how I got it out. I believe the spec on these is 47 foot-pounds, which I will torque up once I get my torque wrench out. Now, the moment of truth, I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on here, the blue. That's good. Starting to grab. Get another one. Okay. This is the 14 millimeter, by the way. And of course, the last thing you want to do is torque these bolts up. I believe it's 47 foot-pounds, which I have my torque wrench set at. There you go. So it looks like the helicoil is holding. Let's see. Thanks for